Okay, so we're live or live. This is not like going live anywhere, but yeah, we have a special guest today speaking English again. This is my second English speaking podcast, but welcome Johan.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, Johan can actually introduce himself, but I'll just tell that he works at our gym as a Etiopath and physical therapy and stuff.
Etiopath.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you can.
And Massasge Therapist.
Yeah.
We'll go through that. We'll explain a bit what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, some people say Johan. I say Johan. Depends on where you're from. I'm French originally. Moved here 7 years ago. I think in July it will be already.
Yeah.
And I work out of the Loop Martial Arts in Helsinki, Pitäjänmäki.
Yeah.
I've been working there for 6 years now. I think will be in May. And I do Ethiopathy and massage therapy.
Yeah, and the company name is KelpoKeho.
KelpoKeho.
Yeah.
Yes. And I owe this to my dear wife who came up with the name. I didn't want to name it like Johan Massage or blah blah Massage or Hieronta, Hieroja, whatever. I wanted something a bit more that encompassed everything that I actually do.
Yeah.
At the time it was still just massage, but then I just developed a bit all my techniques and trainings as well. And I'm not a physiotherapist, I'm not an osteopath or sports physiotherapist or physical therapist, but the actual name Etiopath or Etiopath comes from the French, which is a branch of osteopathy. And with all the trainings that I've done over the last 6 years or so, plus before I moved to Finland, I think that was the closest to what I actually do. So that's why I wanted the name of the company to be like KelpoKeho. It's not even Vartalo, it's Keho, so it's the whole body.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go through this more in details, but the technique is, I call it finding the why. Why does it hurt? Or why doesn't it function properly? Or why can't I do this or that? So it's a very individualized, person-centered approach where I treat the whole person like it should be anyway. I don't know. And finding out why you can't do this move, or why you're having trouble with this, or why you're in pain, and all that.
Yeah. I just saw a recent example I think you shared on social media of like someone coming up with was it a sore ankle or something like from the ankle, but it actually kind of affected the hip.
Yeah, it's the other way around. She came from the hip, but it came from the ankle.
Okay, yeah.
And then again, I mean, okay, I just want to share it's a case study. You can't say it's valid for everyone because it's not. It was her case. And it's very important because it actually helped her. And it wasn't me, it was her own body. And we just together, we worked to find out, okay, what's going on. Because she's been to a few therapists. She has a personal trainer because she's a runner. She has a physiotherapist as well looking after her. They've been working a lot on the hip. And I mean, if you work a lot on the hip for, I don't know, 6 months or whatever, and then you still have a bit of lingering issues, that's not the hip, that's not the issue. Where is it coming from? Why does it hurt?
Yeah.
Back to the same question. That hurts. I'm going to stretch it. Why? Why would you stretch it? I think it's still actually quite a lot in the mind that, okay, my back hurts, I'm going to stretch. Well, no, maybe it's a different stimulus that you need.
Yeah.
How about like very light deadlift or even body weight squats? Why would you stretch? So we just went through many steps while talking with her, how she's doing. How does that affect her? That's a key point. How does that hip affect her? And the running, and am I gonna get out of this? It's all of this that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
Many people tend to think physical therapy is like, treat the muscle or whatever, or like you're into the behavioral change business. You need to change your behavior, but it's more, for me, you're in the people's business. We're not psychologists or psychotherapists, but we deal with people, human beings. And that's why you have to treat someone as a whole. And then there's like a big wave now. It's like 5 or 10 years in physiotherapy, talking about modern physiotherapy, because we treat the person. Well, how did you do it before?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I made a mistake when I was just a massage therapist fresh off school. Let me, work hard on that pec or on that ass or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But what's attached to this, or who is attached to this? There's a person there. And then back at school, I was in London, in the UK. That's where I trained as a massage therapist, personal trainer. My one of the mentors, which was the teacher, very tall guy from South Africa, David, he said, I'm a neuromuscular therapist. And at the time I was like, well, what the hell are you talking about? Neuromuscular therapist? You massage people. What's that about? Yeah. And then over the years, I was like, hold on. Neuromuscular therapist. What do you mean? Well, you deal with the nervous system. Take out the nervous system, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So that's what muscles for me are not the end goal. It's what's dealing with what's coming in and what's coming out.
Yeah.
What's coming out is whatever your muscles are doing. What's coming in is everything around you. So it's a bit more, I don't know if that answered the question, but again, finding the why, you don't find it just in one muscle or one ligament. No, you find it in a person. And that's very, very important.
Yeah. I was just referring to the case because I thought about like, that is kind of like an example of finding the why, because the person thought it was this and it was actually this. So kind of like you need to go into it why it actually is happening. So yeah. I have in my case, I went to a physical therapist in last year or earlier in the year. It wasn't kind of like anything had to do with kind of like recovery at that point. I was just trying to because the guy I went to, I can actually say Matthias, shout out to Matthias, but Matthias Pahkala, I mean, but yeah. I went to him with kind of like wanting to have more strength or let's say more specific power, let's say how to like, because in our sport, in jiu-jitsu, there's maybe not always so much time to like develop this or produce the strength, because you need to kind of like move fast. So it doesn't like help me to like, let's say if I bench press 100 kilos, but I need 10 seconds to do it. I need like even maybe less weight, but I need to move it fast. So I came to like in kind of like this performance attitude. But while we did some tests, we actually found out that my frontal chain, if you can say that, all the Etiopath, was so kind of like so tight that it made my back a little, my lower back bended a little bit. Okay.
So
that kind of like made some stuff. So on my hip was something I can't remember exactly, but my other hip was kind of like more tight than the other one. So my body kind of like started to, in some motions, find other ways to compensate that way. So because the things other muscles weren't working so properly, so it didn't bother me or anything, but I feel like this is some kind of like almost an example of there are these things that you're not maybe so you don't even know why you do some stuff, why the way you do it, and when some other person looks at it, they can find some ways to make you feel or do better. So I feel like this is somewhat in your alley. If you can. Yeah. I mean, that's what I always say. That's the beauty of the human body. That just doesn't care. You say, I'm gonna spar. You're gonna spar. I'm gonna bench press. You're gonna bench press. Whatever happens, you're gonna use. Crazy example. You're gonna use your pinky or your hair to bench press. Whatever that is. Yeah. The body doesn't care. It just picks this and go. Just do it. That's the thing. But then there's a sequence of doing it. There's a way of doing it. And we talk a lot about as well, like the strength, or this is tight, but it's
it's neurologically tight. That's what we have to realize, you know. Muscles are just like again, it's the answer. It's the muscle don't decide I'm going to get tight or I'm going to get hard. And no, the nervous system does it because it sends a threat.
Yeah.
Because it sends a different stimulus of different kind. So it's not that easy, but it's so fascinating to see what you can do just playing around with the nervous system. And the example with that lady that came in, when I worked on the ankle, you start to have those reactions sometimes. That's when you tap into the limbic system. The limbic system is what controls your emotions, long-term memory, and that kind of stuff. So it's quite high, if you want, in a hierarchy of your central nervous system. And she started to feel threatened. And I was just treating the ankle, the ligaments around. When I say treating, I was just stimulating them. And it was like a dead giveaway. Watery eyes, like I put in a post, watery eyes, tingling in both arms, and that sense of panic. You know that ankle is a very high priority in her case. That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
So every time she would actually walk or jump or run, she would try to avoid that ankle. Because just by mentioning it, just by touching it, she went into full what's going on. You know? So, well, again, she wants to run. The body doesn't care. Yeah, I'm going to run. It's just going to take up from the hip a bit, maybe from the neck, from wherever. So my job, I think, is to try to re-establish the connection and make people understand that whatever happens, they're very strong, but there's a way of doing it. And then again, we talk about this strength, or my arse is weak, or my ankles are weak, or whatever. I don't think it's not weakness the way we understand it, where, just go and do some bench press and you're going to get strong, you know? No, it's I call it the access to strength. Just imagine a switch and a light. The switch is working, the bulb is good, but the wiring in between, there's something not right. That's what it is. When we say, I've got weak glutes, you know, it's not like, otherwise I just tell you, do 5 sets of 5, you know, Bulgarian way. It's not like that, no. You have to stimulate it the proper way.
Yeah. That kind of like reminded me of I was just almost blanked out, but I feel like you said with the wiring, I feel like that's what I have been trying to do to myself, and we actually did it more with the physical therapist. Because I believe in the, how do you say, if you have good connections in your body, like the linkage between
like the body awareness.
Yeah, kind of like you have if there's, you have the what is the word, tuki. I mean, like you have. I can, if someone tries to, like, let's say in jiu-jitsu sweep me, I'm always looking for support. If I have the support from my own body, I kind of like, there's less waste of energy and everything. So that kind of like can even just correcting these small things can make the whole body kind of like react better and produce more strength. And I now remember, like, when I had my knee injuries, or I have some couple of them, but there was something on the LCL or MCL, I'm not sure which one is it actually, but you have the feeling of like your body tells you not to maybe do things or not go as far as you said, like with we had it with the ankle, kind of like your body in some sense knows kind of like not to, even in stretching and stuff, like not to go too far, and it kind of gives you these signals.
The feedback all the time. Constantly. And that's a good way of seeing it. That's true.
Yeah,
but I think that's why that's why it's important to go through the person's history. Talk to them. What do you want? How does that affect you? You know, I mean, we can go on and on about pain, but it's very highly individual. And how does that make you feel as well? You know, and my goal as well is to empower people as well. Ideally, I've said it before, my job would be useless because then you would know what to do. The body heals itself. That's the beauty of it. Whatever happens, it takes between whatever the injury, between 2 weeks and like 2 years or max. But I still have pain. Well, that's different. It's not tissue damage. It's receptors that are kind of processed by your nervous system that say, oh, hold on, there's something going on there. We don't really like it that much. Something should be done to it. But we think, oh, you know, it's because of the disc. I've had the disc like 6 years ago. Don't worry, the disc has healed up a long time ago. There's no issue with your disc. There's an issue with your nervous system interpreting what's going on in your back, or if it's a ligament in your knee, you know, whatever. So, and I think that's quite missed by many, many therapists at some point. And again, there's that big wave again in physical therapy where pain is different, and it's like they're all waking up to, oh yeah, pain is not what we think it was, because it's not. It's a person. It's a person experience. It's a threat to your nervous system again, you know. And then we talk as well about placebo, and then you have the good friend nocebo, which is giving you actually. You could come in and, you know, I don't know, I'll check your neck, for example, if you have a neck pain, and I tell you, I've never seen in my 20 years experience a neck that bad. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, pretty bad.
Or then I go and check your neck and say, well, actually, your shoulder is actually really bad as well. Well, am I helping you? No way. No way. We have to be very careful with what we say, but at the same time, you can't lie to people. That's always the fine line in between. And that's why, again, you have to build relationship with the persons that you have. And that's the first step. You know, you have to be, again, a people's person if you want. And that's what I like about it. I like talking to people and sharing and educating if I have to, and listening. That's one big part as well. Listening. Just listen to the story. Listen to the person. Listen to what they have to say. You know, like they said, we have one mouth but 2 ears, you know. It's like very stereotyped, but that's what it is. Well, you have 2 ears because listen. Just listen. They will tell you what's going on, you know. And then it's about asking the right questions as well, and but it's not an easy job. Unless you want to do a job like, okay, do 5 by 10 and then, you know, come back next week.
I think there is no, especially in these type of forms, there's no like one size fits all, because it's so individual. Because we are all of us are kind of like different, or we do different stuff, even though we might do similar stuff, but we do it in our own ways and stuff. So I think it's really important to actually get to know what is the situation going on. But
again, like a paper cut to your finger is not going to affect you that much, I would think. There's a bit of tissue damage, you can put a plaster on it and then off you go, you know.
I would cry for days.
Well, some people do, but then like, let's say a violin player who does it professionally, how do you think that makes them feel? Oh, I can't go to the concert, you know, that's it, I can't rehearse that much. That will affect them much more. It's the same tissue damage, the same kind of injury for you and that person, but you know, even in jiu-jitsu, just tape it and go. But she or he maybe cannot play for a couple of days, and that's going to affect them a lot. So that's why it's again, they call it biopsychosocial, you know, because it's the whole picture. But how was it before? You know, oh, it's just a finger, it's just a cut, blah 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 blah. No, it's the person. How does that affect you? How does that make you feel to have that finger cut off, or just a little cut? Well, I can't play, I can't do the recital. That's really bad for that person. For you and me, it's pretty much, so what? Let's see how far can I go with just a finger and maybe, you know, the whole arm. Like I busted my thumb, it was not too bad. And then I use my fingers and I wrestle and all that. Did it affect me? Well, not that much, because I know it's not that bad. There's a bit of tissue damage, but that's okay. It didn't set me back. Now going back to the COVID stuff, coronavirus, yes, that affected me a lot. It affected me in a way where I was sick. No. But all the stuff around it, that affected me quite a lot. So even more than my fat thumb. So
yeah. I was just thinking about like you mentioned with the violin player. It's it's probably same to her as it would be for me to actually get a more like, let's say, significant injury, something that makes me go to the sidelines so I can train. And it's like, because for me, I have always been kind of like I'm always I'm not sure if I have some slight ADHD or something, but I since I was young, I have always had a lot of energy. I was running around and going to places and everything. And sports is one thing that I feel like calms me down really well and eases my mind and everything. So it's like if I can't train or do pretty much anything, I'm really restless, and I feel like it affects my mind really fastly. Like it doesn't need to be like just maybe some days or anything, and I become really like anxious and everything. So in her case and the violin player case, or it could be he or whatever, but yeah, it can affect, like, if that is the person's life in a way, it can like really change the way he or she feels about the day and everything, like
from a small paper cut.
Yeah.
So that's something to be taken into account as well.
Yeah. So let's dive into more like, so what are you doing, or what is where does this, you mentioned it comes from French.
So that's so what happened is there was osteopathy, physiotherapy and all that, and then one guy, Christian Trédaniel, his name, from the osteopathic branch, decided to kind of take the way of a more systematic approach to the human body. And he called it Etiopathy, which is etiopathy, so it's the cause of suffering, basically. And through different ways, he just treated the whole body as one and trying to find a cause. So that's what is close to what I do. So that's why I decided to go for that name. And what I like is that it wasn't known here as well in Finland, so maybe it doesn't help because no one knows about it. Then I'm kind of the only one. In that way. Well, each therapist is the only one anyway, on experience, etc. But the way I combine all the techniques that I've learned, that's what allows me to do it, because again, it's not just physical. It's almost everything. So I'm not a psychotherapist or anything like this. But I can treat some ways, and I think one of the better qualities of a therapist is to say, sorry, I can't help you, but I know someone who will. And for many cases, you'll find that it's, especially for long-term stuff, injuries, back pain or neck pain, it's a psychological cause. I'm not trained in that, so I'm going to refer to someone else. So that's basically what I do. I use just to massage. People come in, it hurts here, you massage, you stretch, do that, whatever, bicep curl with the rubber band, and then they would come back 2 weeks later, and then again and again. Well, I'm like, hold on, there's something not adding up. I'm doing the work, I'm treating what I was thinking was the issue, but it's not, because it's much more complicated than that. There's something else going on. Otherwise, we will all be massage therapists. Well, okay, I press here, and you're good to go. Go back, and now you can bench press 5,000 kilos or whatever. No, it's. So I was starting to think, okay, there's something that's not adding up, because I don't want people to come and see me every week. Or maybe it's not good for business. I don't know, but that's not the way I see it. Again, I want my job to be most useless. Again, I don't fix anything, and that's a big misconception. Especially when you use manual therapy in the whole physical therapy world, because it's got a bad rep. I think it's very very misunderstood, but then we didn't do a good job, or we still don't do a good job at explaining what it is, I'm not touching with my finger and then everything goes away. No. Would I like that? I was toying the idea at some point, but no, that's crazy. It's like Spider-Man, you know, with great powers comes great responsibility or something like that. Yeah. I don't want that. No. Because it's the patient's responsibility.
Yeah.
And I owe it to them to help them, but it's their way. I can buy the food for you. I can cook the food for you. If you want to put on weight, lose weight, or keep the same weight, you have to eat it. You have to deal with it. I can only help.
Yeah.
So that's why we tend to say like we are facilitators. It's a bit complicated, but like, yeah, I'm here to help. You know, I'm not fixing anything. Again, the body fixes itself. Just let the body deal with it. Yeah. I can help you find out what you can do to make it, you know, maybe faster, easier, more efficient. But it's down to them, and that's what you have to do. You have to empower them, giving them responsibilities, and then, you know, like they say, taking ownership. It's their issue, but I'm here to help.
Yeah, it's kind of like you said, you don't want them to come like every week or anything, because I feel like I think you would be doing a bad job if they were all the time there like, yeah, I did everything you said, and I did this and I did that, and nothing works. So it would be kind of like a sign maybe even that this wouldn't be good, but because I feel like the point of physical therapy, especially though if you're like rehabilitating some injuries or stuff, it's not the goal that you would need to come back, like let's say after a year. Maybe there are of course there are some like checkups and these kind of like the checkups, but there's like it would be bad if after 10 years they still come to you like, I'm still like everything is bad with this. Still it's
I agree. What's going on? 10 years is a long time. You should have thought about it maybe a bit earlier. But oh no, I agree. I completely agree. And again, it's not that they or she or he didn't do the exercise. Okay, let's look at it for a bit. It's their fault because they didn't do what I said. Well, did you explain properly? Did you actually say did you say why they have to do it? And did you tell them the implication of not doing it? Did you do everything that you can for them to understand that it's very, very important? And it's part of the rehab or whatever it is. You can't blame it on them. If you come back to me, first session, okay, we found this, do this, come back in 2 weeks to double check, You come back and say, it's still the same thing. I can't tell you, it's because you didn't do the exercises. No. I would ask, why didn't you do the exercises? And then you would tell me whatever reason, and then I would explain, well, sorry, I didn't do a good job of telling you that this is actually very important because it's your job to be better, to feel better, to recover from that. And again, that's my job to tell you. You know? I can't say, you're just a bad patient. No. That doesn't work that way. And again, you deal with people. So you have to find out why. Maybe the kid was sick for 1 week. Well, of course they're not going to bother with the exercises or whatever stuff I told them to do. So I need to take this into account. Again, it's a whole person approach, not just the physical part.
That kind of like reminded me of it's not quite the same, but it's in some senses the same, because there are these kind of like shows of extremely, let's say, fat people and everything, and sometimes the doctors, because I'm not sure if it's because of today's all this body positivity and everything, but if you are extremely overweight, it's like there are a lot of like health consequences and everything. Like they need to say like, if you don't do anything to this, you're probably gonna die in like 5 years, and you're like, let's say 30 years old, so you would have a lot more years to do everything you love, maybe spend time with your family and stuff. Like it's like really important to tell people these sort of things, because maybe they, for some reason, they just pluck it out of their mind and they think like, it's not that big of a deal, or it's not so bad or anything. But I think it's important to like to tell the truth, but then again, not again to be like, you piece of shit, what the fuck did you do? It's like not to be like that, but it's
there's a way of saying it. There's a way of saying it. But funny you mentioned the overly, like morbidly obese people. They released a study I think it was like end of January actually. I can't remember now, about a new drug that they're going to use, or it was on trial. And I read it, I think, this morning on the New York Times, that it would be an actual drug that would help people to lose weight. Not like the fad ones, but like a proper one. And instead of having the surgery, and because I think it's only 1% who make it to the surgery, to those who apply. And then there's, I don't know how many actually go back to being obese. And the thing is the way I see it, and for the studies that I read, it's not about the pill. It's not about, I mean, the pill looks legit. We'll see. They need to do more research. There's always a component behind it. Why do you smoke that much? Why do you eat that much? Lose weight, it's, spend more calories that you eat, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, is that easy? Well, is it? Simple, not easy. Again, why do you eat that much? They've done research, especially in the US. I can't remember the percentage. I should have printed it somewhere, but it's like ridiculous. Over 50 or 60% that they discovered overly obese people actually had not necessarily sexual, but loads of what do you call it, like bullying at school, or mistreated by their parents from very a young age, and it just carried on into pre-teens, teens, pre-adulthood, and that's just the way they kind of cope. It's like a coping mechanism. Where that's the way they deal with it. They just eat. They're not hungry, but they just eat. Yeah. And just because abuse, sorry, that was the word I was looking for. Yeah, the abuse that they had at school, and it's more common than we think. And that's why I'm very attracted to all that emotion stuff. What's going on at that level in a human body. Yeah. And again, with the work I do, I see it every day. I see ladies who come in with, I'm not like a very good, I know a few things, so I usually try to refer out, but with pelvic floor issues. And I don't know, 8-9 times out of 10, it was abuse. So that's, for a therapist to hear these things, again, you have to build a trust, you have to build a relationship with a person. Some of them are very open. They tell you straight away, and you're like, wow, I didn't expect that. But many of them, you just, like, I'll try this and I'll try that. Have you tried the, Kegel exercise, which is contraction, relaxing? I mean, even for men, we both, men and women, we have pelvic floors, but, and then you find out after 2 or 3 sessions, I talked about it to my therapist. Okay. So you see someone. Yeah, because actually I've always had that issue. Okay. And then you dig deeper. There's, as in structurally or physically, there's not really something quote unquote wrong. It's just the brain goes like, close everything down. It's a bad, again, quote unquote, it's a bad area. And again, that's the nocebo stuff coming in. But that goes deep because it's rooted in for many of them from, again, childhood, and it's all of this. And I don't know, for some reason I like that. I like the whole digging in, not like, tell me everything, whatever. Not that. It's just trying to find out, okay. Because again, it's not just this physical, that muscle right here. Do some squats and you'll be fine. No.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about like all these kind of reactions in a way, because that's a kind of like maybe a specific case, because or specific area in a way, because it kind of like, it makes sense to, if trauma can affect that play our area in a way. So it's you really don't always think about these things when you think about like pain or like some stuff, but it's interesting in a way.
There's a good book about it I've read, is The Body Keeps the Score. I always refer to it. And there's another one I'm going to read, is Waking the Tiger, something like this, Andrew Levine. And it's about how to deal with trauma and how actually trauma affects the human body in later life. And then apparently what he said in The Body Keeps the Score, that's Bessel von Koch, I think, is from Netherlands, who moved to the US a long time ago, and then he did all his research over there. And he was actually putting people through ECG, so like checking the brain activity. And he was telling them, okay, try to relieve that incident. And you could see parts of the brain moving one way and the other. The brain was actually relieving the whole trauma, whatever car accident, unfortunately sexual abuse, trauma of any kind, physical, etc. So what do you think happens to the body? Well, that's going to react to it. Again, it's about what's going in and what's coming out. You know, we call it like afferent and efferent. Afferent coming in, efferent coming out. How is it processed in your brain? That's why, again, that little cut to your finger is going to be processed differently. And that's someone who's got a different job.
Yeah, that's a interesting case in a way, like because I know from some experience and everything that trauma can affect you in ways you don't even realize. Very much psychologically, and even your physical body reacts to it, like maybe you freeze up, or maybe you kind of like in some situations you come really anxious or something like that. It can be like and it doesn't go away until you kind of like
it has to be dealt with.
They deal with
treated in one way or another. And I always tell people it can be different kinds of stimuli. So stimuli. For some people it's a song, for some people it's a smell, for some people it's someone, a person, for some people it's the bar in the gym that they used one day. They did some deadlift and they injured themselves one way or another. Whether the deadlift is the actual cause of the injury is hard to know, because it's not just, again, one factor. And they just can't get through that door of there's the bar. Nervous system goes like red light. Remember, that's the bar that hurt you. Even though it wasn't really, but doing that movement, that's what hurt you. We don't want to do deadlift anymore, which is a shame. Deadlift is very nice. It's very good. It feels great. It's good for the back. Just shut up about all this. I've had enough sometimes. That's why I just got off a bit of social media, and my wife was saying, "Oh, you do much on it, you're crazy." And because the thing is, I never comment on social media, whoever. That's the good thing, I think, about what I do. One way is I follow almost everyone, all spectrum. Those who are against manual therapy, those who are against, well, you can't really say against exercise, but those who are saying, oh, deadlift is bad for you, or squat is bad for you. I like to, gather and everything and check around. Again, I always compare it to jiu-jitsu, because it's like in jiu-jitsu where you say, oh, he's a De La Riva guard player. What is this about? I'm a close guard player. I'm the superior player. No, you're not. Shut up. Again, what's the context? You have long legs, short legs? Yeah, well, okay, let's see. Now we can work on something. So that's the problem is, again, going back to the social media, I don't comment. So I keep everything with me. And I'm like, and obviously I have to talk to my wife about it, because she's the one,
at home. I can't,
and then she goes like, oh no, you're too much on social media. I say, oh, it's for work, it's the greatest excuse. Excuses are lies, but it's for work, blah 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 blah. And then I thought, hold on. If you react this way, is it that person's fault who's posting on social media, or is it your fault? And I'm like, hey, stupid man, it's my fault. Why would I react this way? So now I just spend much less time, but I just still read a bit and just try to, okay, that's their point of view. So anyway, back to the deadlift. Go ahead, it's good for your back. Because there's this big thing about low back pain, and I've had many people coming in low back pain. So, your core is weak. What's the core? It depends, No, that lady thought that lifting something would hurt her back, whatever it was. So am I gonna, let's check if your core... No. I'm not gonna check if the core is weak. I'm not gonna check the strength of the quads or whatever. I'm gonna just go deeper in there. Why do you think that lifting anything, she has to lift patience? Why do you think? Oh, because we were told to keep your back straight. Well, how do you want to keep your back straight? What does that even mean? Keeping your back straight. Just lift the goddamn person. in a way that feels comfortable for you. The worst thing that can happen is when you change from one posture to another without like too fast, you know?
Yeah. There's something like
oop!
Yeah.
Like a reaction, okay?
Yeah.
But otherwise, lift them. Go ahead. The human body is like super resilient and super strong. I just wish everybody would understand that.
Yeah.
Like, we have everything in there. But the spine, we have the muscles around, we have the ligaments, we have the disc. They're like really solid. Oh, I've got a bulging disc. Well, you can still move around. I know it's painful, but you're not going to die from it.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to try to promote as well. All kinds of movements and again, empowerment. And no, you're not weak, or my back is not weak. That's why I like to say it's the access to strength. Or it's not weak as in you're weak person. Again, it's another nocebo term, you know. If I tell you, oh, your glutes are weak. Well, no, they're just not functioning well, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to die from it? No, very unlikely. But we can help, you know?
Yeah. I think there's a if you like in the case of some people, I have heard that before, that you always need to have your back straight or something like that. Because it's like, if you always think about it when you're lifting something to keep your back straight, suddenly maybe you can't even get your back rounded up and because you kind of always keep it this straight and straight, and then suddenly that creates problems for you. And you should always kind of maybe think about do it what it feels normal. If what you normally do that creates some pain, then you can think about okay, there's maybe something going on now, but it's not maybe it's maybe not always the way you're doing it. It can be something else, but yeah. And on the social media stuff, I feel like in the algorithms and everything, they actually work so you kind of engage in it. But in some cases I feel the same. I don't comment on there because I feel like that's an endless spiral. You will end up fighting with people you don't know about, some stuff you don't even care about maybe that much. But it's I try to because I feel like a lot of things there is political in one sense or another nowadays. So I try to follow people who are all over the political spectrum, and so I can kind of
make your own judgment.
Not to look things just from one angle and stuff like that. But there are some people you see them comment and talk about things and speaking like they're the experts, and sometimes you feel like, oh my god, these people are so fucking dumb or something like that, and it makes you enraged, but then you want to comment but you don't, because I think that will create more kind of bad habits, and most of the time the people who comment there all the time are people who are commenting all the time. They pretty much don't do anything else during the day. They're just
almost their job and their sport.
Yeah. But I agree with the deadlift stuff. It's I think that's one of the most common exercises that is really good for the entire body in a way. You work your legs, you work your core, your back, and everything. And
so now there's ways of doing it, there's a progression, you can do deadlift with dumbbells, with kettlebells, with nothing, or 2 bottles of water.
You
can do it straight legs, no legs, or whatever, feet together, feet completely apart, sumo. There's so many ways, It's just a matter of finding out what works out for you. And again, one more on top of that is, what do you want? Many times that's where you go okay, I've got an injury, and then I feel like this and that. Okay, fine, we'll deal with that, but what do you want? And many people are that's actually a good question. What do I want? You have kids, yes. Do you want to play with them? Yes, that's what I really like. Do you mind if you can't do whatever, football, ice hockey, or I don't mind for a few months, but what really matters is I want to play with my kids, All right, okay, well, let's address that. What's your goal? What do you want? It's one question that actually people should get asked and try to find the answer. Many of us, we don't really know, but it's I think it's a big point in the like rehab world or physical therapy. You know, you can talk all about techniques and blah 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 exercises, but what do they want? What does that person want to do?
Yeah, and it's again like you said about like changing the kind of like the responsibility from you as a like to back to them.
Always, yeah.
Like if you really want to like I can't remember what was it, but I remember this some guy. I'm not sure what was his problem, but anything. I just remember the moment like he was crying because he could like finally after like 2 or some years of hard like physical therapy and everything, because I think he had some sort of accident, he could finally like lift his kids and like really actually play with them. It's like if you just like talk about some techniques and stuff like you have this issue and we're gonna work on it like this, and then like they're like we're gonna work on this, but they might not know why. Exactly. And once they know the why, they kind of like realize it that okay, if I really want to do these things, I really need to do this. And I think that works in other all the other things in the world as well. Like I feel like a lot of people don't really maybe know what they want. That is actually quite common, I feel like. But in a way, like it's got sidetrack a little bit. But I'm not sure if you know about this. He's a clinical psychologist and everything. Jordan Peterson. Yeah. He had this writing exercise like future authoring.
Yes.
Which I can recommend to people. I have done it myself. But they did some tests with the college students, and it worked really, really well, even though they spent just an hour to do it. And it made some tremendous changes in the people, like how they're succeeding and how they're kind of like dropping out of school and everything. All the numbers went up, like on the positive side, like people dropped out less and people had better grades and everything. It's like most of the people never maybe sit down for an hour, like never, to really think about what is it that I want and would like to do in life, or what I would like to achieve. So I think it's really important in a way to like use this kind of like approach in a way, like what is it you actually want to do, like and try to work from there, so they can kind of like create their own plan and motivation to go where they want.
It's funny because it actually ties into the whole reason why I'm doing today this work. Because back before we moved here, so we were in France, where I'm from, and I had other kinds of jobs, and then I managed to cut a deal with my employer anyway. It's always the way it goes in France, where I was unemployed for maybe almost a year. And I was going to that job center, you know, and to find some jobs to do, but it was actually to do some kind of training to anything. But we knew we were going to move to Finland, we just didn't know when. And I remember that's what actually, that's what really ties into what you just said. The lady was in charge of us. It was 12 of us. Some of them were like, I can't sit in an office like this. I need to go and find some work now. Yeah, okay, that wasn't for you, fine. But for me, I was kind of all right. Let's see, you know, we're going to move maybe in 2 months or 3, we don't know. And she said, okay, take a piece of paper. Don't think about whether it's money, possibilities, country, whatever. Write down 3 things that you would like to do as a job. Whatever it is, she said. It could be president of the world, if that exists, anything. And just then break it down to actually Is it possible, and then which way, and then try to build up a plan towards that goal, you know. So obviously it didn't take 2 minutes to do it. You just like think, and you're like, yeah, you just take the time, ask me questions if you need some help, etc. And the first thing that I wrote down was actually osteopath.
Yeah.
I still remember that, yeah. And then, because again, I studied massage in London like 14, 15 years ago with a personal trainer, which I did over there. I did a bit in France as well, but not that much. And then when we moved to Finland, I was like, well, what am I going to do? But that plan carried out all the way. And almost thanks to her, yes, I kind of knew, because the story started when I was 20 and I went to an osteopath. It was more like a poppamies.
Yeah.
Old guy. I hope he's not dead now. He's like, he said, I should have retired 15 years ago. And I was like, I like your job, you know, it looked nice. And he helped me, and I just like the way he dealt with people. So he was always in the back of my mind. And then fast forward, whatever I did in London, but then fast forward to today, and I'm like, yeah, sounds great. So I wrote this down, and then the second one was like, was the radio host or something, and the third one was, I can't remember, some kind of nightclub owner or whatever it was. But that was the first goal. And that just, from then, okay, she told me, well, are you willing to go back to school for it? And I'm like, yeah, that's actually a good question, because I'm gonna have to go back to school for it. One way or another, you know. Because I said, I've got the diplomas for massage, but if I want to go one step further, I need to go back to school. And it's just built up from there. So again, that's I see it again with people in my office when they come in. I've got a very good example. I'm not going to name her, but very for jiu-jitsu player, hard knee injury, or not carry ending, but like, whoa. Okay, not just a little cut to the finger, And then she was like, you could see, it was tough. But then I said, hold on, obviously you want to go back to jiu-jitsu, and it's something she had in mind, but she had like in mind maybe in 10 years, I don't know, in 5 years, 6 years, I don't know. And I said, put out a calendar, write down the date. I want you to actually write down the date. And I said, before Christmas. I was like pushing it. I said, I don't care what you do. Put the gi on and do maybe a backward roll, something. You have to write down the date. Why? Because it makes it real. You can put it on your phone. Now, take your own piece of paper, pen or pencil, and with your own writing, write it down. I will go back to jiu-jitsu before Christmas. And I said, whatever happens between now and then, that's what you want. You going back to jiu-jitsu. Of course, you're going to have to bend your knee that much, etc. But the ultimate goal, because then if I just tell you, I'd like you to be able to bend your knee 60 degrees. Why? Because it's good for the knee. Why? Because then we don't care. Why? The ultimate goal is you go back to jiu-jitsu. You get that? And she was like, you're crazy. I said, no, I don't care. You go back to jiu-jitsu. That's what you want. Tell me otherwise. And she was like, well, you know, because I said, you can walk. I mean, you know, still at the time, but with clutches, but it's jiu-jitsu you want to go back to. That's what you did like 3 or 4 times a week. So it's quite a big part of a life, if you think about it. You know? And that's what I think get lost sometimes, where we're too focused on bend that knee and move that knee. Again, what does it feel like for you to have that kind of injury? How does that affect your life?
Yeah. And I just thought about like, it's really interesting in a way to like think about how those plans can carry out. And we'll dive into maybe that a little bit later, but you're not completely a radio host, but you do your own podcast also, but because you're kind of like you only need the nightclub now, so you have completed your list.
I didn't even think about it. Now that you mentioned it, I'm like, okay, that's that was on the list. Oh, that's funny. Thank you for mentioning it. Yeah.
Only nightclub away from all your dreams.
God, you in Helsinki? I don't know. I don't know.
But
the podcast, Suljetut Ovet Podcast. Again, it's been a long time in the works, but it's one of these things where I mean, touch wood, whatever. If I die tomorrow and I didn't do it, I was like, you piece of crap, you know. Why didn't you just even record one? So I thought, okay, let's buy a mic, plug it to the computer, and then off you go. Whatever happens, happens. Because, again, with the work I do, I'm just fascinated with people, human nature, human beings, you know. How we're all different and different sizes and shapes, and why do we do what we do, and again, I'm a big podcast consumer, and then I thought, oh, let's try it and see, because again, it wasn't for me. It was, well, maybe it was for me egoistically, but it was just to understand more about people.
Yeah.
And I've actually hit 1,000 downloads last night.
Nice.
Yeah. for whatever effort I put in, I'm quite happy. 19 episodes with the latest I recorded. So I just don't know where it's gonna go. That's the big thing, because I don't have a plan for it.
Yeah.
I just want to interview people from different walks of life and understand again why they do what they do.
Yeah, that is actually a big interest of mine. Like, I'm really fascinated with people and their nature and why they do things the way they do, and because everything we do, we have some sort of motivation to do. Like, even as simple as, like, if you want to kind of like keep it really, really simple, like, why did you drink that glass of water now? Because I'm thirsty. Why do you go outside now, like, or why do you go to the toilet now? Because there's always some sort of motivation that drives us to do whatever we do. And we are so different in a lot of ways. Like, some people, they enjoy reading, some people enjoy jiu-jitsu, some people enjoy like lifting weights or anything. It's like there are a lot of things that, like, every time you do something, you choose not to do something else. And it's really kind of like fascinating to find out why people do the things they do, because I think that helps us understand ourselves and all the people, or like humans as species, let's say. And yeah, I don't know, it's fascinating to think about all the, or it's really fascinating to me also, like, what is the human capable of, in a way. Like, we are so different. If we choose to do this or pursue this, we can become extraordinarily, like, magnificent in something. And it's it varies so much. Like, there are like some dancers, there are like gymnastics people, and some people climb hills and or mountains, and some people, they drive bikes and do all kinds of freaky shit with that. It's like we can do so much things, and it's really fascinating to me. But you kind of like, you mentioned some of those things, but what other things are the reasons why you feel like you do your podcast? Because I feel this is a question I sometimes think about, why I do mine. And it's kind of like again fascinating to find out, like, why other people do the things they do. Like, why do you feel you want to do your podcast?
Well, as I said, I'm a big consumer and I wanted to give it a shot. And then again, I want to find out why they do what they do. And because I think it's a good what do you call it, medium as well. Almost one of the best nowadays. Like, how often does it happen that you sit down nowadays with someone for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, or even half an hour for a cup of coffee, and you just chat? Because when I started to invite people, say, what do you want to talk about? And I'm like, well, no pressure, it's going to be about you. So do I need to revise something? Are we going to talk about World War One? Do I need to go through my history? No, it's about you. Why you do what you do. Oh, it's not going to be interesting. Well, yes, it will. It's your story. Oh, it's going to last 15 minutes, and you're 1 hour, I don't know, an hour in or an hour and a half. Oh, already I just mentioned like 1/10 of my life, and I'm like, that's what happens. So the thing is, I do it in English because, well, we speak English at home. I speak French to my son. My wife speaks Finnish to my son. We kind of speak a mixture of everything, but we've always spoken English, my wife and I, since we met. and I wouldn't do it in French because obviously my French is good, but it's not as fluent, I would think, or it wouldn't sound the same anyway. So, and what I like when I have Finnish guests speaking English, I have that little extra edge because it's not as natural, I would think, even though the English is perfect all the time. They're, I don't know. Yeah, don't worry about it. Really, don't worry about it. But I like it because you can feel that, I don't know, maybe I'm masochistic, I don't know, but like a bit of, not discomfort, but like a bit of, that little edge, just like, how do we say it? And then get more sensitivity, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
And it's quite uncommon to have a French host in Finland interviewing in English.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any more of us. I don't know, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically why I do the podcast, because again, I want to sit down with people. Like you mentioned a few of them, what would they think if I just see them in the street? Hey, do you want to go for a coffee now? An hour, we're going to speak? And they're going to be like, who the hell are you? Get out of here. I'm going to call the police. But if you send an invite and you say, oh yeah, I'm having the podcast, would you come over? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Or sorry, next week because I'm busy. And then it just happens.
Yeah.
So it's just a way of as well socializing in one way.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I also like, and like you said, I feel it's quite rare to actually sit down with people and talk with, let's say, hours and hours or something like that. It's because most people, they're always on the go, and even when you see some friends, they always feel like there needs to be some activity, and they're kind of like distracted to watching TV, or like series or playing games or something. So it's actually, I feel like it's nice, and I feel like it's a thing that we're missing in some senses really much nowadays. Like, I think it's a how do you say it? Now I'm doing again.
That's fine. You mean interaction?
Yeah, interaction is like, and it's like it's a sign that we are longing for these interactions. I feel like, because why would these like long form talks would be so popular? Like, I hit 10,000 downloads or listens a while ago, but that's basically still it's a lot in a way.
It is, yeah.
But I feel like when you think about, let's say, the Joe Rogan, that it's common for everyone, it's like millions and millions and millions of downloads, and
that's his job.
Yeah, it's his job, but
that's his job.
Yeah, it's but it's strange that he has these all sorts of people on, and the conversations last about like 3 hours, and every episode has at least like 1 million downloads. It's like, why, in a way? Because the most common kind of like feedback that I have got from people is like, why are they so long? It's so long.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
It's so long that I don't have like time to listen to it. From some people, but it's at the same time, I feel like the ones who listen to it they actually enjoy the longer format in a way. And I feel, as I said before we started recording, like I enjoy the longer format because it gives you time to actually dive into things, because I feel like most of the, let's say, more, I feel like commercially made podcasts in Finland, or like, they kind of like have this radio show format in a way.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
They're like, it can't be longer than 30 minutes, and we really need to like move fast with this, boom, and it's like, I feel like though they can be good, but in a way it's most of the time I feel like when I have listened to some of the good ones, I feel that I have come across, I feel like many times when I kind of like feel that's interesting, and we kind of like just started rolling, and then the person kind of like let his or her guard down, and
exactly
the talking became much more fluent and normal, and then we're like, okay, well, that's the time we all have now, and it's like it's over now. It's already over. It's like, yeah, that's why I feel like, and the one thing I like about you and your podcast in a way, like it's I feel like you do it because you want to do it and you want to do it the way you want to do it, like.
Oh yeah.
Because I think again this can work, but for what I think where some people go wrong the way they do it, again it's their show, they can do whatever they want, but they ask from other people like, what is it you want to hear and what would you like to like hear about, who are the guests you want, and like I feel like that's not like the mean, for yes. For a longer for like a
long-term goal or strategy.
Yeah. Because you're always doing it for someone else. You're never doing it because you actually want to do it and for yourself and your kind of like pleasure and everything.
Funny thing is, I've asked many times actually, who do you want to have, you know? And then they mention many, and I'm like, well, no, I don't want these ones.
Yeah.
So I don't think I ever. Sorry, everyone, but maybe at some point. I'm an asshole. Just say it. It's just because, again, it's what interests me. And then I've had people telling me, oh, you know, life is other things than jiu-jitsu and CrossFit. And I want to say, yeah, no, I know. But again, Ranski's here. I don't know anyone. I'm 7 years old here in Finland. So let me just gather people around me that actually want to hear the story of. And then I'll go a bit further. You know? I had Renne on because, well, first I asked him straight away. And I think he's the main one that answers straight away, yes, I'll come. But why him? Not because he's a high profile. It's because I know he was very influential and popular in the radio. Aamupojat and stuff. And then energy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hear from him again because it was like a few years ago about censorship and the evolution of it. And then so I was interested in that side. Obviously himself as well, but I wanted to know a bit more about what it was like in Finland listening to the radio. So that's why I had him on, basically. He could have been someone not known at all, but he would have been in that position. Yes, I would have taken him as well. I don't care. I want to know your story. And it was very interesting, you know. A very, 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 very nice guy. You know, I remember, I'll come. Not even one, I'll come. And then that was done. That was great. Yeah. A good show. And then, the ones I had are people that are kind of around me. I had my barber on. Ronnie should listen to. It's an hour and a half. So that's the most listened to podcast with him. It was very interesting, his whole story. You know, he's all tattooed all over. Now he has like silver teeth. Shout out to Ronnie if you listen. Very nice guy. Very, very. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And then the one with the Marco Suomi, like Suomi.
Yeah, actually, there was to that song.
Yeah.
He was the guy who liked books and stuff.
He's a madman. Yeah. He's like 900 books a day or whatever. Anyway, and him because I think he was the first Finn I actually met, and not in Finland. We met in I think it was Lithuania. Or maybe Latvia for a kettlebell competition. So I wanted to have him. He's the first one who welcomed me here as well when we came to Finland. He said, come for dinner and then we can have a chat and see. Who else? Lotta that I had. She's because she's someone who comes for treatment, and we just started to talk all that, and she said, I'm a referee, football referee, okay, and like quite a high level, okay, interesting, and a young lady as well. I mean, very fresh, very smart, very smart, crazy smart, and history student and researcher, and I was like, and she had a podcast at the time already, and she actually made a podcast on how to make podcasts and all that. So I was like, okay, I've got that idea, and as soon as I'm ready, I will have you on. And then it happened maybe a year and a half later, and then she came on last week, and it was. So I'm interested in those kind of people. Like finding out, again, why? But as you said, sometimes who would you want on? And he might or she might have good stories and stuff. Again, maybe I'm an asshole, but maybe I want to hear from him or her more than him or her. So it doesn't mean like because you're on my show or whatever it's called, podcast, you're very special. It's just we are all special in our own way. It's just I want to hear your story.
Yeah.
Now, because I don't know. That's the way I woke up this morning, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
Again, it's very selfish from me. Coming to think about it, maybe the whole show is very selfish from me.
But then again, it's your show. Like, again, like I think Renne said this also. Like, if you don't want to listen to my show, like, don't listen to it. Like, exactly. And if you want to like spread your ideas and everything, go make your own show. Like, you can be so selfish as you want with that. So like,
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I agreed 100% with that. Yeah, I do. But we'll see. I don't know. 19 episodes. First I was like, oh yeah, let's be disciplined, 1 a week, and I'm like, come on, no way. First, because you don't want to. Well, again, I'm a big baby. I don't want to do things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Just no. I want to do it when I want to do it. And people listen. They listen. I do it for me. Yeah. It's selfish. Yeah. Okay. It is selfish.
I feel like, of course, if you want continuity, you kind of like it keeps the thing growing if you do it more regularly. But at first, I also like. I think when I made my first one, there was a month until I made the next one, and then when there was maybe again a month, and when I did the other one, then I had a couple in every 2 weeks, and then there was a longer break or something, and now at least I have tried to like keep going like 1 week because I feel like. It's something I want to do, and it's something I would like to maybe see grow, not like naturally grow, because I'm not like stick it in your face like listen to my podcast. It's
constantly and advertise and
I feel like a little disgusted about that. Like if some people are like sponsoring it, and I even know some people who are not with podcast but with other stuff. They're like. When you're hanging out with them, they're like, "Hey, watch this. We're gonna watch this now." Like it's like, okay, sure. And but it's kind of like reminded also about when you said that she made something about how to do podcast, and I kind of came across with this. It was some sponsored ad on Facebook or something about like. Welcome to or come to this how to make a successful podcast thing, and I was kind of like, well, sure, let's check it out, because I'm like always looking for tips and feedback and everything. But the first line was like, be someone who is known, or don't have anyone who is not known on your. Well, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, sure, this is like shit and fuck you. It's like basically saying like if you're not some high known people, don't ever dream about being someone who's successful. Pretty much like it's like is this success and fame something that's guarded by these few people who decide who becomes successful and famous? It's go fucking suck my dick. But
I read actually, because it took a long time. I wanted everything to be, this way, that way. Didn't want to make any mistakes. So what I read a lot, it was Tim Ferriss, his blog. And I read it a few times. And he goes through that, but it's not that way, though. He goes just remember, if you want to monetize your podcast, it's not going to happen within, 1 year. It's going to take a long, long time.
Yeah.
And he was just saying, okay, this is what I use. That's the mic I use. It's very basic stuff. And then... Because he says himself, nothing got him ready for that. He just learned on the spot, and it just built up from there. Yeah. So, if you take Joe Rogan, he got the money from Fear Factor, and then he put all that money in there, and then so that's a different scale, different level stuff. But the Tim Ferriss podcast was very simple to read, and then how to do it, I know he has a whole team behind it, but it looks like it's a one-person business. If you want to do it yourself, there's the info. Go ahead, But yeah, he didn't say like, oh, don't, if you're not famous. He said one big thing. He says, scratch that itch.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, if you're famous, you're gonna make it. If you no, famous or not, it doesn't matter. Scratch that itch.
Yeah.
And only then you'll see. You know?
I agree.
So that's something that's stuck in my head. Yeah, scratch that itch. Okay, let's scratch it and see.
I agree. Like, pretty much every success story I have ever heard, they started with someone actually wanting to do something, and they started doing it. They had their doubters. They even doubted themselves and stuff like that. But along the way, they learned. They got better. They got fall down. They got back up, and they kept going. And one day, it all kind of like clicked into place, and it was like, I'm actually doing it. Yeah, it's kind of like crazy in a way to actually do it like that, because I feel like a lot of people who don't have these itches, let's say, they never understand why someone is actually doing it and risking something maybe and doing everything. And also I feel like because they walk their own path, everyone who walks their path otherwise is like they're not so sure if that's gonna work, especially if it's something that is out of the ordinary. What I mean by that, it's not like going to 9 to 5, or in here it's like 8 to 4 jobs and stuff like that. It's like they don't understand it, and they really don't kind of like they doubt it, but they I kind of like lost my thought a little bit there, but anyway,
like they never have a itch to scratch.
And they're not willing to risk it themselves or try it themselves, so they think everyone who tries to do that it's just stupid or something.
I know. But most of it is jealousy. It's an ego stuff. That's what I think. Same with social media and all that. It's just about why them and not me. It's because what they do is rubbish. Like Renne say, well, do it. Do it yourself. It's like bitterness, because asshole, he got the idea before me, say this. They got the idea before me, and that's it. Well, what do you do? Well, work on your own idea now. Scratch that itch. That's very important. Scratch that itch, whatever it is. Make sure you organize everything to scratch that itch. Again, no regrets.
I like that. That kind of like reminds me I'm not. What was the movie? I think it was. It had Jennifer Aniston and I'm not sure, but it has the guy with the tattoo like no regret. Regrets. Not regrets. It's regrets. But kind of like circling back to the. It kind of like reminded me of you said something about the manual therapy and why people have their misconceptions about it. What do you feel like are the most common misconceptions, and what is it you feel like it's actually?
If you're ready to dive into this, you fasten your seatbelt, because we still don't really. That's the thing. We don't understand how the brain works, so let's not touch it. Just shut up. Try it. But many times, like, can you open my quadriceps? Can you open my... Yeah, I can. I need a knife. Maybe some anesthetics, because you're going to scream like hell otherwise. But even I've got, let's say, pretty strong fingers, but I can't open anything. I'm not... I mean, if you come every day, if I massage you... in a way where you think I'm stretching your muscles, so that would mean your muscles getting longer, so that would mean you're getting taller. Is it really happening? No. What happens? Because it's easier to say I'm going to release this, again, you need a knife to release that. I had a chat quickly with Fisu from the gym, like, oh, hey, Johan, what do you think about the massage guns? Good topic. And again, it ties up into the whole placebo, nocebo. You come into me and say, you see, I've been using the massage gun every day for the last year. I've never felt better in my life. Am I going to tell you, you're a stupid man? That massage gun is rubbish. It doesn't work. It's shit. How does that make you feel? I've been an ass for 1 year for using this every day. I'm not going to say this. I'm going to say, well, perfect. Keep using it if you like. Yeah. Can I explain what actually happens with that massage gun? Like, you can use it. That's fine. As long as it doesn't harm you. Yeah, use it. It's fine. But it doesn't do what you think it does. It's not opening muscles. No. Otherwise, you'd be all lanky, all long, and all that. It's a stimulus that you bring to the brain. Same thing when you massage, when you press muscle, when you stretch something. You have so many different stimuli in the body. Again, compression, vibration, little pick, slaps, taps, thermal receptors as well, cold receptors, audition stuff like music, like I said, smell that can affect your central nervous system. That's what it does. When you massage, I'm not opening the muscle, I'm telling your nervous system. Oh, it sounds big. I'm telling you, nervous system. But that's the way it works. It's a stimulus. I'm touching you. Same thing when you stretch, when you lift weights. Yeah. Your nervous system goes like, okay, let's see. What's going on here? Okay, there's a pressure here. All right, how do I interpret that? No idea. No idea why. Because it ties up into your history of your beliefs, of who you have around you, what you've done before, your injury history. So the thing is, with manual therapy, we think we are... Some of us, I would think, they heal people. Oh yeah, I'm touching and you feel better. Again, like I said before, I would touch you and okay, it's all gone. Thank you. 500 euros. See you tomorrow. Same thing. Yeah. I've got many questions. Oh, what do you think about chiropractors and then all that? It's not about the profession. It's about the person as a practitioner. You have bad lawyers, you have bad cops, you have bad massage therapists, you have bad physical therapists. It's about the practitioner himself or herself. What's the narrative behind it? For many years, the narrative in manual therapy is, oh, I'm going to crack your neck open, or I'm going to massage you back fine, or whatever it is. And again, do I say that to you? I'm going to release your muscle, or I'm going to upregulate your central nervous system through a compression, You go, what the hell are you talking about? It's much easier to say, I'm going to massage this away, and that's it. But that's not what happens. You can't open muscles with your own fingers. Again, ask the central nervous system to do it. The nervous system does everything. It takes information in and then takes information out, puts information out. Then there's different ways of doing it. And again, tying up into the Ethiopathy part where I use manual therapy, it's going to sound very... I'm going to say it. It's applied neurology. It's like what you have in the books in neurology. This is what happens, this and that, when you press, when you do. But it's manual therapy applied to neurology in that way. Yeah. Again, I don't have magic fingers. No one has. Well, maybe, I'm not sure. David Copperfield, if he's still practicing, I don't know. No. But it's. I think it's the narrative behind it. Oh, can you open this? Oh, they feel very open. And again, so much placebo goes in here. If you tell someone, oh, go to Johan, he's the best. What do you think is going to happen when they're going to book? My job is already 50% done because you told them that I was good. Again, I'm good for you. Maybe I'm crap for someone else because it's about a person approach. Same thing. Just imagine, many times you hear, oh, I've been to him or her and they didn't do anything. Is it the practitioner's fault? Is it the patient's fault? Is it the method that they used? It's just there was no interaction. There was no compatibility, I would say, between the practitioner and the patient. And that's why, social media, you go there, oh, go to him, go to her. She's the best, he's the best. Again, it's the best or she's the best for you. That's what you have to remember. And that's why I don't know if shop around is the right word, but unfortunately, sometimes you just have to go through. That Poppamies that I used to see, my grandma recommended it to me, but she wouldn't go to see him. How funny is that? Huh? Yeah. It's pretty effed up, no? Oh, no, he hurts me. He never hurt me. Yeah. But because some of her friends used to go, I guess. Yeah. But she said, you go there. She went once and she never went again. And I went I don't know how many times over I used to go every 6 months, more or less, or every year, you know. So 22 until when I went back to France 2 years ago. So again, it's a practitioner stuff. So yeah, back to the manual therapy stuff. Again, that's why I follow them. Like, oh, why I hate manual therapy, and then they're all hypocrite. Sorry, I just say it because it's not like they say I hate manual therapy and then they use it. But it's like, oh yeah, sometimes it helps a bit, but you know, what helps? Movement. Yeah, manual therapy is the adjunct, and that's from Andrea Ospina, the guy who made like the FRC system, which is about functional mobility and all that. You can check him out. He's a very nice guy. He's a chiropractor, a sports osteopath, jiu-jitsu black belt. I don't know if that makes him better, but yeah. So that's the bit, you know. Massage, and it's like they call it passive modalities. Because the thing is with passive modalities, whether it's acupuncture, again, massage, chiropractic, massage gun, it creates dependence from the patients. And that's not what that's not what I want. Again, if you come to, I understand if you come every week for a massage because you like it.
Yeah.
But not, you need me? No. No one needs me. No. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint. Yeah. You know, you're like master of your own castle or whatever you wanna call it. But that's the thing. Manual therapy, it hasn't been described the way, or we don't understand the way it works. It actually doesn't work this way. Can I break down this and that? No, your central nervous system can do that for you. There's just ways of doing it, ways of influencing.
Yeah, I feel like the massage gun thing is kind of like, of course it can make you feel better in a way, like it kind of like releases or some tension maybe because of the vibration and everything, but it's not a way to actually maybe deal with the issue in like long term.
Why is that muscle tight?
Yeah,
that's my question.
Yeah, why
why is your neck chronically tight, or whatever you want to call it? Yeah, why?
yeah
I don't know. Well, many things about manual therapy, but I lost the track now. But it's just, yeah, like, you know, I go to acupuncture every 2 weeks. Yeah, go. That's fine. Yeah, that, you know, don't depend on it. Don't think like, oh, I've got a sore throat, I'm gonna go to acupuncture. That's gonna heal everything. No, that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. But yeah, with the massage gun, same thing. Yeah, if it helps you, but again, it doesn't do what you think it does. You know, if you buy a cheap one, second hand. Oh, he has that special head and it goes deep. No. No.
I think it's kind of like it creates, I feel I've heard about. I think I have never tried a chiropractic, but it's same sort of thing. Kind of like it creates short-term relief. Kind of like as I crack my neck, like that wasn't even the bad. I have like even worse here sounding ones. But yeah, it kind of like creates short-term relief, but it doesn't take away the thing that my neck cracks pretty much every day. If I could go to someone who kind of like cracks it a little bit and it's like, that felt good, I can kind of like think that, or some people, they can kind of like go into the mindset of like, that heals it, but it doesn't heal it. It's just some relief for a short term, kind of like maybe massage and everything. It's like, it's not the solution. It's just like you said, it's a
it's a temporary thing. You know, it's transient, like they say. It doesn't last long. But then again, in all the spectrum, are you following science? How do you follow the science? How do you follow the research? What's good to take? What's not good to take? What's biased? Oh, you know, it's not biased. It is biased. Always biased, because it's made by human beings, so it's biased one way or another. There's a limit to it, because then you have one study that says acupuncture is rubbish, is crap, never worked, and another one, and one comes in, about these studies that say actually helped this and that condition. What do you actually believe in? And again, does that paper apply to the patient that you see? These were done from boys from 12 to 16 years old. How much does that apply to old mummo who's 78 years old, and she has quote unquote bad knees, you know. It's again it's an individual gig, and I wish people would remember that. And it feels very stupid for me to say it, because that's just the way it is. How else would you want to treat someone? Treat them as a whole. I have one guy, he comes in, he wants me to crack his back. He likes it. You should see his face when he hears the crack. It's like he's $1 million. Same. Like he's, you know, king of the world. If I don't crack his back, he feels even worse. What am I going to do? I'll crack his back. He's happy. But then I tell him, you know, next time you come, maybe in 6 months. There's no point. Or I could be an asshole, say, come next week.
Come
your
tomorrow.
neck as well.
Come
you
tomorrow.
Know? And, you know, it lasts 3 minutes. Nah. Again, integrity. What do you want? That's why I was talking to Lotta, actually. Because I was asked many times, but myofascial release. Again, it's release, but again, it doesn't do what you think it does. It really, well, not release, it just reorganizes, it down-regulates or it up-regulates whatever stimulus I give to your body. That's more or less the way you have to think. And, do you think that works? You know, myofascial release? Well, let's put it this way. Do you think I can, one day you're going to come and say, I'm going to massage you, but I'm not going to touch your skin. I'm just going to touch the muscles. Is that really? No, that's not going to work. Of course, there's myofascial, again, quote unquote, release. You can't just, you know, I'm just going to touch the ligament. No, there's everything in there. Subcutaneous nerves, all that. So, you can put it out there. Myofascial release. No, it's a whole gig. It's all together.
That kind of like brought in mind a question like, how do you would say, from your perspective, how would you like, as a consumer, make the difference between someone who's kind of like this charlatan or which ones are like the, let's say, real ones, or that actually kind of work, or again, it's something like some things can work for someone else, but what would be the signs to maybe look out for to not kind of like give money to someone who's actually maybe trying to?
That's a good question. It's a tough one to answer. It's down to what you think you need or what you think you have. And again, unfortunately, sometimes you have to shop around. And then like a few Instagram physio, whatever you want to call them, or even good physio or bad physio, whatever, they said once we are not the prostitutes of the physical therapy world. As in, someone comes, like one guy comes and he says, I want you to massage my legs, you know, because I know that's what I need. Well, okay, can we explain, you know, what happens there, and then all that, what's your history, blah blah blah. So it's about building a relationship with someone and explaining what's going on, and not doing all the time what the patient wants. Again, it's a fine line, you know, and trying to make them understand. That's why you have to build a relationship, because you want them to trust. When the best compliment that I had, you know what it is? When people coming, what would be the best, you think, compliment that I had? Think about it, like the whole perspective that we talked about.
Well, actually,
you massage well? No,
I
massage. It's so.
I think it could be something like, I trust you.
I feel safe here.
Okay, yeah.
How big is that? Someone walks into your practice, to the point where I could cut her hair and she'll feel like $1 million, you know. I've got no idea how to cut hair, you know, so I feel safe. I mean, the battle is like, if it's a battle, if you want to call it a battle, but the job is like almost done, you know. And again, I build a relationship not to do whatever I want with them, but so that we understand each other. It's a two-way gig, you know, feedback to feedback. And again, going back to Lotta, I said, you know, I don't care if they do this and that and they say it works, or manual therapy doesn't work, or is it legal what you do? Yes, okay. About integrity? Yes, okay. Again, do they feel safe? Yes, okay. Do I bite people on a massage? No. Okay. So that's because you have that stuff, bite massage. I don't know if you heard about that. She used to bite celebrities, in the UK. Yeah, well, again, if it's your stuff, am I going to fight for it? No, well, let them do what they want, I'm not going to do that. If people ask me, I say, well, go and try for yourself. But no, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't want to try. But that's why sometimes on social media I go, but just like, just that's it, Oh, look, he's giving me that exercise and now I can run the marathon in 2.5 hours. Are you sure it was just that exercise? Is it that simple? First, it's a new exercise you've never done before, so it's a new stimulus. It's a different way for your nervous system to process it. Of course it's going to feel different. Maybe you were lucky it felt better than worse. I mean, I don't want to brag, but we can stand up and I can make you feel sick if I want to. There's ways of doing it. And I don't need to plug anything in your nose, no. I just need to trigger a few stimulus in your body. And that's just the way it's going to happen. So that's what happens with the massage gun when you have the compression. Oh, that feels nice. Are you, someone who hates massage, hates being touched. Are you going to say, go for a massage, you're going to relax? No way. I don't want to be touched. It's all about, it's all about that. Again, what's the, they talk about the narrative behind manual therapy. But I don't think we still do a good job because, again, it doesn't do what you think it does. So sorry, because the whole question was about like research and how to, you have to shop around. And then the way it usually works in that job, it's like word of mouth. But again, because it worked for you, or quote unquote again worked for you, maybe is it going to work for me? I have no idea. It's not, it would be nice like black and white, but it's not. And that's why science is amazing, but it just lacks so much. And that's why there's so many research. Like I think it was 2018 or 2017, like in the first quarter of the year, there were like 400 studies. So it's like over 10 per day on rotator cuff. 400, which one do you want to read? Like, I think it was worldwide, Where do you go? I mean,
10 a day sounds a lot. Like how do you keep up with all that shit?
Exactly. How do you want to keep up? That's the thing. Read research. So I do some of that. But again, it's biased because you read some, chiropractic care actually works. And then you read, authors, they're all chiropractors. Well, of course they're going to say it's the best thing ever. You just have to go get critical thinking, But I think many are not really abusing, but they just like take advantage of people so much. And again, I'm just saying social media because that's how you get all your stuff nowadays. So it's quick and fast. Okay, that works. I'm going to do that. But no.
Because I was thinking like it came to mind like it's not maybe so clear as it is with, let's say, martial arts. Like, of course, some people who don't, like we talked with Antti a little bit, like there are people who don't know about anything better, and then they go for these kind of like, let's say, McDojo places, and they're like, kind of like, if I touch you here, you're gonna die and you're gonna fall down and shit like that. It's like, not really, like, but I feel like in martial arts, it's some ways it's much more easier to kind of like find the right answer because you're constantly kind of like testing out ideas. Does this work? Kind of like with jiu-jitsu, it's like I feel like this trick is the best in the world. Like I can do this to anyone. Like then you try, okay, maybe you got it working for once, and then you try it again. It's
not today.
It's not working, and the other person like destroys you completely, and it's like, okay, maybe that doesn't work. So maybe I need to figure out something new. So it's, I think in that sense, martial arts is really a clear and a good testing ground for ideas and stuff. So
it's pretty instant, especially with jiu-jitsu. It's that's why jiu-jitsu doesn't work in the streets or whatever the debate is. But I'm gonna choke you. Well, I always tie everything to jiu-jitsu anyway, my work life, etc. But I'm gonna choke you, and And you'll see you're going to have to tap or you're going to pass out. That's the way. Yeah? And then same again, if you go back to manual therapy, say, oh, it doesn't work. But what does it mean? Does it work or not? Like, I'm going to show you how to choke someone. Oh, yeah, I can choke anyone. I'm the best in the world.
Yeah.
Well, go and try and choke him or her. They're not going to let you choke you or them, you know. No, that's not the way it works. Because there's a whole process behind it. And then same with physical therapy. It's a whole process behind it. That's the end goal. But how you get there is different to person. But I mean, jiu-jitsu, I think, is one of the best way to realize, okay, that works. I mean, as in, my arm is stretched out. That's it. I'm done. You know.
Yeah.
So it's really the best way to test yourself. Yeah, definitely.
And I was, because you also kind of like changing a little. It's not that much changing the subject, but you do. I'm not sure even what all the things you do. Kind of like these different things, like you brought the localized cryotherapy.
Yeah.
And I have heard a lot of good things about it. Mostly I have heard, and I think the studies that they have made are from the kind of like the chambers where you go
that's very different.
Where you go to stand on this kind of like pod or whatever it is. But I tried the cryo thing we had in the gym when it was free. I did it on both of my knees, which were aching a little bit, and it felt strange in a way. Like for a while, the knee felt kind of so good in a way that I almost didn't believe it. Because there are kind of like these
like tingling.
No.
Sorry, I'm making your job hard.
You used the word earlier, but for some reason... Stimulus, yeah. There's some stimulus that there's always coming to it, like...
Of course.
Because I'm
you have receptors on the knee, whatever kinds, all kinds.
Yeah. Because
thermoreceptors,
Yeah, I'm used to it, and I'm used to it feeling something like this. It kind of like switches up a little bit day to day, but I'm used to it feeling something like this. And first, I almost didn't feel like it felt kind of like so good. It seemed almost crazy that I kind of like felt like, do I even want to like put more weight into it? Because it's like it feels it's not so tight and everything, and then it's like. But then again, of course, this wasn't like, let's say this didn't last for a month or something. It's kind of like. It's a relief that I'm not sure how long it lasted, but I felt it was good and did something good.
With the machine, they say it lasts. Sorry, I cut you off, but with the machine, they say it lasts about. It depends again. It's like between 24 and 48 hours.
Yeah, something like that, I would say. And then it came a little bit back to normal, but it still felt maybe a little bit better than earlier, but mostly the best feeling it gave, went for like 24 to 48 hours. So what are these other sorts of things that you have studied, especially cryo, and I feel like they have or let's say things about recovery, because because
that's good question.
I'm always interested in these because I exercise quite a lot and everything. I'm trying to like find all these little things that I can maybe do to get a little bit better or recover a little bit faster. Like I use the sauna a lot, and I have always liked it. I do sauna like 5 to 6 times a week, and I feel like it helps the wrist.
That's a good thing. They've released loads of studies actually from Finland. So from anywhere else I wouldn't take it anyway.
Yeah.
But about sauna, you actually.
I think it was
helps
a guy called
recovery.
Jari Laukkanen or something like that.
Yes, because he's the one actually who I think he did it with Rhonda Patrick. She has on Found My Fitness stuff.
Yeah.
And now increases as well, like even cognitive abilities and all that, like slows down the Alzheimer and Parkinson. I mean, degenerative diseases. That's what I was looking for. And then depending on how many times and how hot as well. So it was really precise, really nicely done.
Yeah, and it's kind of like I think the one main big thing, sorry to cut you off, but
No, that's fine.
with the sauna was like it lowered, what's it called? What is it? Total cause of mortality or something like that, with something like 40 to 60%.
Yeah, like surprisingly a lot.
Yeah, that's like real big numbers, but yeah.
But yeah, recovery. I posted once, but because again I'm just too small, I would think. I posted once on Instagram. It's like I use it like a blog, but about recovery. So I think there's like 2 or 3 main things for recovery, and yeah, it's not massage. Sorry to disappoint everyone, but it's good hydration, good food, and good sleep.
Yeah,
that's the 3 first one. Again, you want to put on weight, like build muscles. Are you gonna just eat like Cartman, Muscle Plus 3000? If you've seen the episode on South Park, that's not the first thing you would do.
Yeah,
have a look at the diet as well. You know, you need to put some fuel in. So we take the supplements later if it's not enough. If you need more, then take more. But first, try these 3 things: sleep better and faster, like Arnold would say. Sleep better. Drink loads of water or fluid, whatever it is. It goes a long way. I think it's like 78% of the body's water. What they said. It goes a long way. Many people tend to miss. My back hurts. Blah blah blah. Drink loads of water. Please start with this. Check how much water you drink, and food. Eat. That's the first thing I would do.
Yeah,
and then you can
food is,
like you said, you can go deeper in all that. What kind of food? About the vegan diet? Yeah, whatever works for you. You like it. You're vegan, great. That's perfect. I like it. Please,
but not mostly like not junk food. Let's say.
Yeah, like something not less processed as possible. As fresh as you can. I guess here in Finland we're quite blessed. Even if some people tell me, it's not that diversified. Yeah, well, I know, because again, coming from France, it's different, but it's a different culture. That's another different podcast, by the way, about food and all. But yeah, good food, something that fuels the machine, if you want. Yeah, so these 3: sleep, drink, or water, fluid, and eat. That's the first thing you need to look at. And then in these 3 components, you have loads of things to, go through again with the sleep, like sleep better, sleep hygiene. So that goes back to the screens. And then that goes back to how many times can I train a week, or whatever I do for training, or how intense it is, So again, all these. And then the adjuncts are, sauna is perfect. That would be probably my number 1 with the cryo machine. The cryo machine, the localized one that I have at the gym, is good for especially joint pain, around the knee, around the ankle, elbow, all that, the neck. That treats as well skin disorders, that machine. So that's the good thing. So that's not for recovery, but just for the machine itself. But yeah,
it's
sauna,
kind of like the
this
thing we have in Finland, because there it's cold. I feel like I have heard, I'm not sure, but that's kind of like why it kind of like
it's based on like shock therapy, where you're going to bring very cold very fast to one localized area. So then the blood is just going to stop rushing in there, and then when you take it off, then the blood's going to start to come back, and that's where the healing process kind of happens. So it's a very condensed answer, but that's the way. So it helps with inflammation. Again, you should have inflammation. It's good for you. Again, temporary, not like 1 week, then no, it's not going on, but it's part of the healing process. So again, sauna, perfect. If you like massage, go for it. But that's not the priority in the recovery. Again, fluid, sleep, food. That's, and then anything that makes you happy. Playing video games, it could be a form of recovery. Reading books. I don't have the post in mind that I made, but that was lower there. Read post on social media about recovery, if that helps. It's like all this is the adjunct to, again, the 3 pillars. Again, it's my opinion. I don't know if hopefully not everyone would agree, but the fluid intake and the food and the sleep. And just, especially for jiu-jitsu, because it feels like we could train every day, because we don't get really hit. I mean, it happens, you get a knee in or something, but not like if you do boxing or Muay Thai or MMA. Again, we're talking about martial art, combat sport. CrossFit, it's a whole other ball game, because they have their deload week. They have different kinds of workouts. I don't know if you have had a deload week in jiu-jitsu. No, we just train most of the time whenever we can. So that's another component to take into account. Like, how do you train? Well, how much do you train? What kind of training is it? Is it varied? Is it using all the different training systems as well? So that's part of the recovery, you know. Right now, many people are doing avanto uinti, which if you don't know, you just dip in the water. I mean, I'm sure you know, but
like
maybe
ice swimming or something. Maybe.
So it's basically the same idea for the cryo machine, you know, just dip in there very quick and then back out. It's good for recovery as well. Would it be my number one? No, again, number one, as I said, drink, eat, sleep. Yeah, that's the recovery. Yeah,
I think that's the most basic thing for most people. But then again, there are like, let's say, people who are trying to be professional athletes and everything, and they try to find all the little nicks and crooks and because the workload is so much higher than the regular person. So
again, it's based on the person, it's himself or herself. But that's still the three pillars. You can take any athlete, if they don't drink enough, performance is going to soar straight away.
Yeah, or they didn't sleep enough.
Or
the sleep is bad because of because the food can also affect on the sleep and everything. If you drink something like the fluids, if it's alcohol, then
I slept like a log. I drank so much beer and wine. Well, no, actually no. No, because you didn't enter that deep sleep state, and that it's just completely. You're dehydrated completely as well. Yeah. So, and then again, there's many researches with what was his name? I lost his name now. The sleep doctor or whatever he calls himself.
Matthew
the English
Walker.
guy. Yes, that's the one. Matthew Walker. And then with his sleep, how we sleep, the book, how we sleep, and then other studies as well. That's what happens. You recover when you sleep. That's basic. That's what your grandma used to tell you. A good night's sleep will make everything better. Well, because there's a reason why. All the cognitive things happen when you sleep as well. So with the dreams and all. So for recovery. If you want the adjuncts, so definitely sauna. Massage if you like it, but the cryo machine, the ice bags. I know NBA guys are using a lot, like LeBron James. He wraps himself up in ice bags or ice packs. The thing is, with the ice bags and stuff, they get warm at some point, so you constantly have to change them. The good thing about the machine is just I can blow your arm off. That's what I always say, because the machine will stop when I say so. So you will never get warm. The skin is gonna get colder and colder, which is stupid to do. Obviously, people use it, carefully. It's like max 2 minutes on the one area, maybe 3 depending on the level you put on. But
I'm not sure if it's possible to get a frostbite from
it.
Yeah,
you can.
Of course, if you can just keep it on.
Well, because the treatment goes so like on any part of your body that you use it on, it should the lowest temperature should be in between 0 and 3 degrees, and we consider that treatment is done. Okay. So if you just reach that, then you go, let's try and see. And then it goes to minus something. Well, no, you're a bit, deranged in your head, and you have to stop straight away. 0 to 3 degrees is optimal.
Yeah.
Maybe you would reach -2. Well, that's okay. Just stop. It's not gonna. It will be like a couple of seconds. It's not gonna kill the cells yet.
Yeah.
I know a story of one guy who had it blown for like a full-on 7 minutes, and his leg was blue for I don't know how long.
Oh.
And I was like, why did you let them do that to you? Well, because I was told. No, that's not what I do, or that people do at the gym. Just so you know.
But some people are like, go for the extreme.
I know. Yeah.
Even though it's not always so smart. I have heard about like the sauna and the cryo. They kind of like have to do with these heat and cold shock proteins.
Yeah, the shock therapy and shock proteins.
I can't remember all of the things they say it does and everything, but I think there were some more benefits. Even though I have heard some people say that it's hazardous for your health to like go to sauna and maybe dip in the ice bath or something and then go again. Even though I feel like I have done it, like going to the Avanto and the holding the ice, and then go to sauna, and then go to Avanti. I have done that like maybe 4 times or something. It's strange the feeling you have. I feel like, at least I felt like really good. Everything was kind of like relaxed, and you feel energized, and
well, you have loads of hormones going on, you know, endorphins and all that. So that's a huge component to recovery.
Yeah,
that's why sleep is important.
Yeah.
But that's, I read once like cold showers. You know, that's what Wim Hof recommends, and you know the Iceman and stuff. And again, it's very well researched what he does as well. And then there's some other doctors who go in and say, oh yeah, actually they're dangerous for your health, cold showers in the morning, or even after training, cold showers and all that. It's actually not what you are designed to do, etc. So it's hard to find, you know, what's, again, quote unquote, what works, or like what's, again, how does it make you feel, you know? What's for you? You have basic stuff. Again, you need to drink and sleep and eat. That's we all need that. Yeah. We can go without eating for 30 days or so, but you still need to drink water, you know? So that's the basic components of recovery.
That's true. And like, I like the saying, like with the food especially, it's like you said, fueling the machine. I feel like some people, they don't look at it that way. Like, if you, I like the analogy of Joe Rogan also. It's pretty much the same. Like, think of your body as a car. If you put some like shitty gasoline in there that's like not good for anything, and your car is gonna run badly. If you put some,
you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that your body is like a car. You're gonna piss off loads of physical therapists on the internet. You know, no, it means because you break down, you're not broken. Blah blah blah. Oh, come on, it's just an analogy. Yeah. But sorry, I cut you off. It's a metaphor. I had to say it, but because many people say, no, we're not broken down. Blah blah blah. It's not a car. It's not a well-oiled machine, and blah blah. Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah, I think that's
do the work. But you have to put, again, I give you, look at, I mean, he was extreme, but remember the guy, Morgan Spurlock, McDonald's 30 days?
Oh, yeah.
Remember him? Super Size Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's extreme, McDonald's every day, you know? Of course, it's not going to feel well. Like if I give you just carrots for 30 days, how do you think you're going to react? Not very well, because you need a bit of everything. Yeah. But that's exactly the analogy of what he said, you know?
Yeah, with the Super Size Me thing, I feel like just to mention something about it, like I remember that when they tested his like organs and everything, and they looked much more bad than like someone who's been on alcohol, drinking like alcoholic,
liver failure and stuff.
Yeah. And I feel like of course I'm not gonna be some hypocrite who says I'm never eating McDonald's. Of course I eat McDonald's sometimes, but it's like strange how it's like when you're eating it, it's like, oh yeah, it's so good, but 30 minutes later you feel it like, oh my god, you feel pretty much shit, and you wanna die, and you're gonna shit your brains out and have like these, how do you say, like a flock of birds that come spray all over, and then everything is like that. Kind of like is a hint that that's not maybe the best for your
for the whole body, but you know, I always say just try everything. Even my son, you know, because he's like, you know, because of school McDonald's and all that, and let's go, you'll see. You'll see, have a taste, you'll see. Okay, but it's good. And then you have like proper burgers that you make yourself, and it's like, that tastes different. You know, I'm not saying I've got better burgers than McDonald's, or they're into not burgers anyway, it's more the real estate business. But that's another topic. But because anyone can do better burger than them. Well, you could agree, it's not, you know, but it's where they are that makes it. It's the location of where they are. That's why they're so successful. You know. But again, it's another thing. But I'm all for taste all of it. Taste it. Yeah, of course. Try it. Yeah. And then maybe, you know, when you taste good stuff, you make me realize, actually that's what food should taste like. Not like this. But no, this, no. Again, they always say like a diet that excluding something is never the best one. But again, if we go back to the vegan diet that exclude all kinds of animal products, it works for many people. Is it the future? I don't know. Have you ever tried?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I enjoy meat maybe a little too much. Because I like the taste and everything, and I feel like it's working for me. I like salads. I like everything like greens and leaves, and those are the things I feel like I would need to eat more. But again, it's like, and I haven't like. Well, I can't really say because I haven't like really tried it myself. But from what I have seen, many people who try it, they become deficient on something. It can work if you kind of like supplement with stuff, but then some people, you see them, they kind of like shrink down and they're all tired all the time and everything. It's like it doesn't seem like that would work for me and my physical needs and stuff, and I wouldn't have to eat like a huge amounts of things.
I think it's the way they do it as well. Those who try it, because they think they need to cut out everything, but actually it's quite rich what you can eat on a vegan diet. It's very rich. It's just when you're not used to it, you kind of don't really think about all the alternatives that you have. So I think that's why then they feel that bad, or they have those deficiencies in some stuff. Again, if it works for you, I mean, I respect it a lot. If you can,
Well, but I think what is the actual, let's say, problem with it is like, what is the problem with any kind of like group you can get into? Like, some people get so religious with it and they start to like, you kind of like try to convert everyone else to it, and
proselytism, that's what they call it.
They become so fanatic about it, and they think everyone who doesn't do it are bad persons and stuff. It's
asshole.
It's same with religion. It's same with
it's many things nowadays. Between nutrition. I try to keep my calm when we talk about nutrition, because again, we have a different, like we call it, rapport to food. Probably you and me straight away. Even my wife and me, we have a different rapport to food. So it's hard not to get like So everything is getting like this again, like physical therapy, same thing. But going back to this, what's the mission? That's always my question. I've got the study that is this, whatever, food, physical, whatever. I've got the study, and then no, you're an asshole because you disagree. Hey, stop. What's the mission? What is the mission? That you're right? That you're wrong? Or that she is wrong? Or that he is wrong? Or that your patient gets better? What's the mission? Bear that in mind a bit. Just bear that in mind.
And I think that's also like rather than who's right or who's wrong, like, what is the truth? Again, it's about a lot about egos and stuff. Like, people don't want to be wrong, and they want to be right and everything. But it's like, that's the reason again why I try to like hear opinions all around, and so, because I feel like if you just listen to one thing, and one thing is only that is acceptable, let's say, which you can see in social media in some senses, like they feel like if you're against this idea, or even I feel like even ideology, you're somewhat wrong, or it's not accepted. I feel like even if it would be right in a way, I feel like it's a problem if you don't allow any different opinions, because then again you become at some point you become stagnant with
you don't learn anymore. Well, again, all the time, please prove me wrong so I can learn something. Not like because then you're right, and it doesn't mean I'm a bad person or whatever. But again, what's the mission? What's the goal? For me to win? No, I don't care about that. I want to know. What can help that person? What's again, what's the mission?
And I have to say, like, I can even get myself sometimes with jiu-jitsu, like, I think you should try it, or I have kind of like come down from that, because not everyone is gonna like it, even though I feel like pretty much everyone could benefit from it in some senses. But because people don't like things shoved down their throat, and they're like, yeah, and it feels like with some people it's like because they do it, they think it's the best thing, and they think everyone should do it. It's like, no, again, but yeah, it's better to let people make their own decisions, and let's discuss them, and again, like you said, watch the mission, let's find the truth, let's say, and everything, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's the source, you know, of all things. Then you can communicate, and you know, you can share views, and you know, without being an asshole, or you know, because you disagree, or you know, it's all about that, and that's getting lost sometimes, unfortunately. And again, that's why those, you know, podcast platforms are great.
Yeah.
You know, again, if you have many different kinds of guests from all over, all walks of life, just the way you share the knowledge, you know.
Yeah.
Without fighting for who's right or who's wrong, or no.
Yeah.
Just sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there can be like a healthy debate about things,
Exactly.
not like screaming on top of your lungs like you're an asshole. No, you're the asshole. Like, yeah.
Where does it take you? Nowhere. You didn't learn anything new. Again, 3 letters, ego. That's what it is. You know.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's, you know, it needs humility as well. Same as a therapist, you need quite a lot of, you know, you need to be humble. Many times you like a guru therapist and guru this and guru that, and well, aren't you yourself a bit of a guru for saying stuff like that? And well, yeah, just be humble. You know?
Yeah.
Be humble, especially if you deal with people. Oh God damn it! Yeah, you have to be humble. There's nothing more complicated, I think, than a human being. And maybe that's why I like it that much. Never boring. It's never boring. It will kick your ass. Like jiu-jitsu. It's never boring, and it will kick your ass.
Yeah.
You think you got the answer, you think you can get there, and like as you said, well, yeah, that's gonna work, and then no, you're gonna get completely destroyed. Yeah. Like, why? What is this? So what do? Do you keep on fighting, or just give up and like, F that, I'm gonna try something else? No, you keep on fighting, and you find out why that messed up, you know. And you just keep going. Yeah, I tie everything into jiu-jitsu. Everything, yeah. But that's just the way, like life and work and relationships, everything. It's just so, and again, like we said, it's right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Like almost no time to think. Boom, it's right there.
Yeah. Like one last question, I feel like, and then we can maybe wrap things up. Like, just to talk about jiu-jitsu and how
long is it gonna take?
Like, are there some things you feel like you have kind of like how jiu-jitsu has helped you with your job in other ways? Maybe?
Just the why, finding the why.
Yeah.
And that's why I do jiu-jitsu. Because I don't compete. I've done 3, I think, competitions. Auntie said, like a couple of years ago, why don't you compete? You know, because he was a competitor back then. He was still competing. Are you scared of losing? And I was like, I don't care about medals. What would I do with them? I really don't care. And I don't have the mindset, and that's not what I train. I train jiu-jitsu because I want to know why. So why what? Why does this work? Why doesn't it work? Why? What's going on behind this? What's going on behind a sweep? What's going on behind that type of guard? You know. Because he always pushes me all the time. Maybe to be better, but just to find out more, maybe more truth, more reason, more. So yeah, exactly. Jiu-jitsu, let's say guard passing, you know. You try against someone, you try 2 different styles, doesn't work. 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 times, 40, whatever. Well, maybe you ought to change something at some point. If after 50 attempts you just don't make it, well, stop for a sec. Back out, so detach, have a look. Maybe I should put that leg that way a bit more. Yeah, then it's not in a way anymore, then I can pass. So yeah, that helped me in one way. Well, in many ways, as you know, it doesn't work to treat that person that way. Or I forgot this, or there's so many components. So that's the way. It's like bulletproofing all the time, you know, all the time. So yeah, jiu-jitsu helped me in this while being resilient. Like not giving up and making sure as well I'm responsible for what I do.
Yeah.
You know? It's a shitty training partner. Yeah. It's a shitty teacher. The gym is crap. No. It's down to you. and you only. And again, I'm very selfish. I take care of my training partners because it's for selfish reason, because if there's no one to train with, so how am I gonna get better at jiu-jitsu? It's not gonna happen. You can do like shadow jiu-jitsu and all this, that's great, it's perfect, but in the long term, no, you have to have someone to kind of test against. So that's why take care of your training partners, all of them, small, big, whatever, man, woman, long hair, short hair. So jiu-jitsu has helped me a lot. Again, that resiliency, that processing, it's like they said once, it's problem solving, but boom, straight away. Because they call it human chess, but in chess, I think, unless you do speed chess, but like regular chess, you have a bit more time, but like jiu-jitsu, it's pretty instant. If you make a mistake, you get caught. So it's that's the way I kind of ties jiu-jitsu up with my work. Again, finding the why. Always this question: why? Why does it work now? Why didn't it work? What did I do so that it worked, and why did I do that it didn't work? So it allows me to reflect as well. So it's very cerebral. I mean, obviously I feel sore and painful, but for me it's more mental. The game, jiu-jitsu game, it's mental. I mean, again, especially because I don't compete, so I don't need to train like a mad man or mad woman. So like competition training and all that to just show up. But again, it because I'm a very I like systems, I like concepts. That's the way I learn. I don't know if Auntie knows it. I'm sure he does. But after many years, I think once he asked me at school, did you always ask why? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. You can't tell me do this step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, grab this. After step 1, I'm lost. You lost my attention. You lost everything. Tell me why you do this. And because we have the morning sessions where obviously it's less of us and it's just him, we have so many opportunities to ask him. Okay, I'll show you. I do this because this. I do this because this. And I'm like, all right, okay, got it. No, I got it. And because my work is this way as well, it's all principles and concepts that you can apply to everyone. That's what I mean. You adapt. You see? I don't know if that makes sense. For me, it always makes sense this way. Sense. The whole I can't learn a technique. There's no way. There's no way. You have to tell me, oh, look, that's the way we choke. No. But why does it work? Well, because I'm squeezing that way here, and I'm holding this. We just can't, or she can't escape that way or that way. It's like once he was showing me a pass where it's like Buchecha, I think, who does it, or maybe Londrolo, where you squeeze the head in one way, and I was like, I was trying, I said, there's something that's not feeling. And I was drilling with Fisu. It was just two of us in the morning. And I was like, it's not adding up. It doesn't feel comfortable. He said, because you're not putting the body where it should be. And then I'm like, yeah, okay. So I looked at him and said, it's not really a pass. It's a pin. You're pinning someone. As in you render them like almost defenseless. They can't move anymore because you attack the jaw straight away. So the end result is actually a pass, but you do it by pinning them to the floor where they just can't move anymore. And from that moment, it's just shifted my I don't know, the brain that I have to, all right, okay, forget about passing the legs, no. Just control this and there, pin them so they can move and pass. And then every time it's like this. And that's the way. That's why I love John Danaher a lot. I base my training quite a lot on what he does, actually. Because for me, it just speaks like, he speaks too slow and he repeats himself. I love it. I just love it. I'm a nerd for that. I just love it. And I watch the same extract 10 times. I like it. I know what he's going to say. I still watch it because I like it. And for me, it just applies to me straight away. And I think that's why Auntie knows because he says, okay, let me show you and explain. Because again, you can show me a sweep from De La Riva, X-Guard, whatever. But if you look at sweeps, they have all the same 3 components, and you can sweep anyone from anywhere if you have those 3 components. It doesn't matter if your leg is here, up, down, but whatever. You need to have those 3 principles again. So again, that's the way I tie jiu-jitsu with work, with life. If you can't get to someone asking questions, like you can't get past someone's guard. Well, maybe it's time to change the strategy. And flank them, like we say. So instead of going that way to choke you, I'm gonna go the other way because you don't expect it this time.
Yeah.
And the same thing, if I'm trying to get something across to you and I can see it's not getting in, or it's my fault, it's not your fault because I'm not doing a good job into making you understand what I mean. So I need to find another way.
Yeah.
So if I say red 50 times and you go like, no idea what you're saying, I say, okay, hold on, maybe the color is a bit pink and red. Yeah, I see what you mean. You know?
Yeah.
Again, tying in into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Don't bang your head against the wall like 50,000 times the same way.
Yeah.
Just detach a bit, retract and check. Okay, study. Okay, what's going on? Right, okay.
I think it's the definition of insanity, like doing something all over and over again, and expecting a different outcome.
Exactly. And that's what it is.
And I like also the why. I feel like it's a really important question in many cases, or basically all the cases there is, because I also feel like it's if you just tell me to do this, I'm kind of like, well, why? And again, it's like what I like also a lot about Danaher. It's like he leaves no questions about like maybe why, because he explains them like it takes time, yes, of course, but then you understand. It's like okay, okay, like like an example of the back system that he has, like you do this and you put the hook here and you kind of like put the head trap in and put this in because of these things, and why you do these things, you limit his movements to this and this and this, and it's like okay, nice. And I even when I taught it forward to other people, they were like, why has no one never like told me that this is the reason actually why we do this? Because I feel like that's how you really kind of like get it much more in than just showing some technique, like you just squeeze
but you know what it does? It's because it gives the people the responsibility. And again, that's the way it works. You give them the entire responsibility of it, like the ownership, you know. That's the way. Do it, try it yourself, so that you don't need me. Like the principles of guard passing, you know, it's like you need, you know, they need five things was it to pass your guard, you know. They need the grips, they need the angle, they need to close the distance, they need to what was it again, like pin and consolidate, you know. I forgot one, sorry. But once you know this, like you can counter almost any pass. Again, simple, not easy. Simple, not easy. Because it's what, again, like he says, you know, it can go whole to hell in like a quarter of a second if you don't react properly. But if you have those 5 principles, again, going back to the easier 3 principles for a sweep, you will know how to sweep anyone from any position as long as you have those 3 things. And that's what I like about it. That's what I like about concepts. But it's more or less taking a step back to what you've learned and just kind of rewire everything and apply it this way. Because again, jiu-jitsu has been taught like this way for so long, you know. But then how do you want to get someone to, you know, get hooked if you don't show them like a choke, you know? Oh yeah, I can choke anyone. Well, you have to show the principles first, you know. That's why I think it's a very hard job what Antti does, like teaching jiu-jitsu, the peruskorsi and all that, because it's just it's very unforgiving as well, because so many drop out, and again because it's not that easy. Simple, not easy. And that's unfortunately the way jiu-jitsu has been taught for so long. And as you said, no one has ever said anything that he said, Danaher. I know he hasn't got all the world champions in his team and all that, but they're doing pretty well if you think about it, for the amount of time they've been training as well. So you have to, I don't know, question, but you have to kind of a bit like Kid Dell said, you know, drillers, you know, no drilling allowed and all that. And I agree with him, you know, there's no point. There's no point in drilling a technique. First of all, can you do the movement without anyone? Yes or no? Well, then you go, no, well, let's see how you can move your, you know, hips and all that. So there's no point for me to show you the move if you can't do the movement. That's the first step. So what do you want to drill some stuff? You have no idea what you're doing. It's not even realistic. Oh yeah, but all the world champions, again, fallacy if you take the scientific way. All the world champions drill. So it means if you drill, you're world champion. No, no, that's not what it means at all. They just happen to all drill. So again, if you want to learn everything, it's like 120 years of drilling, 10 hours a day, non-stop. If you want to learn all the techniques of jiu-jitsu, are you going anywhere? No way. But more and more people are shifting to that concept-based approach. More and more. Even Roger Gracie, if you he said, "Oh, I don't drill." He does position sparring. Yeah. I trained over there actually. That's when I all started jiu-jitsu back in London, long time ago. But I had a very long break before we moved here. And the first teacher I had was his first black belt, Nicolas Gregoriades from the Jiu-Jitsu Brotherhood, South African guy. He was a brown belt at the time. That's way back 2006 or 2007. And it's very still concept-based approach. And it just made sense straight away. It was kind of cool actually. But then I had the Brazilian dude who was teaching us the Gracie way, like the old school Helio Gracie, which like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. First the warm up, and then the self defense, and then the technique. So it was fun, it was great. And then the sparring, just the regular stuff. Do you learn a lot? I don't know. Again, do you want to be a world champion, which is fair enough? It's great, it's amazing. Or do you want to be a martial arts? I said it before, like you can take a guitar and just play anything that's on the radio, but can you actually create something? So it's different mindsets. I don't think there's one better than the other. Again, it's down to what do you want. What do you want?
I like it, and I take in all just like when you talked about ownership and made me think about like Jocko Willink. We all know the same people.
I'm a fanboy.
But he always kind of like makes it like ask why, because if you understand why we are doing what we're doing,
exactly.
Like he uses military as an example because he has that sort of past, and I think military and he's like is a good clear example because it's so high stakes and everything. It's like, why do we do this, and why do we? And if they don't understand, you don't get offended, and you just find out, how can I explain this better to you? Because that's in some places, in workplaces, I have had this, like when I'm asked like why, and then they kind of like almost get frustrated and offended, like
you're questioning their authority or something.
And it's like it's dumb in a way, I feel like, but it's, and when you understand why, again tying all the things up, it's like the responsibility comes to you, and you kind of like can actually internalize why we're doing what we're trying to achieve and how we're gonna get there.
And it feels good. You feel responsible, you feel in charge of something, so that's great. You feel empowered. That's what people
So KelpoKeho, go look it up from Instagram and Facebook, and it's again on Pitäjänmäki Takkatie 7. It's on the same place where Loop Martial Arts is,
and CrossFit Takomo as well.
CrossFit Takomo, yes.
Shout out to CrossFit guys and girls.
And remember Suljetut Ovet Podcast. It's on Spotify, and is it on
all of them? Should be on all of them. Yeah. Apple, Spotify, whatever. Yeah. And the same name on Instagram and Facebook as well.
And I think that covers it pretty much. Or is there anything else you want to share?
Thank you very much for having me on today. Maybe pissed a few people off, I don't know, but that's fine. Talking about my work, again, I don't have all the answers, and I don't wish I had, and please reach out to me. I'm happy to share anything at all, almost nothing to hide. Just be respectful to anyone, and be humble, and just try to understand more each other.
I think that's a good way to wrap this up. So
thank you again. Thank you.